Hola, 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 mi gente. Today is Wednesday. I know that for certain, right, Lily?
Hump day. It's hump day.
Yes, it is hump day. I won't be humping, but shout out to everybody who is. Get a little hump in from me. Okay, all right, all right. All my humpers out there. Okay, welcome to On the Block with Jen Wednesday night hump day. Okay, this topic is spicy per usual, especially the way I'm gonna tell it. Oh, we're gonna hurt some feelings tonight, and we're gonna question some things tonight, Lily.
I love
We're gonna,
it.
we're gonna question some things tonight. I don't know. Things are changing. People are changing. People are changing skin tones and noses and lips, and I don't know. And I feel like in 10 years, it's gonna be a bunch of Jens running around. And you'll see what I mean in a minute. It's gonna be Jen everywhere. It's gonna be me.
Everyone's looking the same now. I swear, like, everyone is literally looking the same.
Like some of these pictures I pulled up tonight, Lily, that I'm gonna show the crowd. I was like, this person here, the new version of them could pass for my sister, literally. And she could pass for my sister now, literally, right? The changes that they're making to themselves. It's absolutely hilarious. In case y'all didn't know I was Puerto Rican, like in case y'all were guessing or something, y'all didn't know. I got the Puerto Rico earrings on in case y'all didn't know I was Puerto
Yeah,
Rican.
you got to be clear these days. Be very, very clear these days. One person in particular I'm thinking of, and I know you had to pull that person up because this person has been changing their face weekly lately.
Which
So
one?
I
Which one?
know. Let me see if that person made the thumbnail. Did you put people on the thumbnail?
Did. You're probably talking about Nene. She's already there.
Uh huh.
Nene's on there. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, she better be on there because listen, the new face she popped up with last week, I was like,
Yeah.
"What did you just get that face like a month
Yeah.
ago?"
Nene has like she has a membership, like a subscription to a surgeon. There's a membership going on there. Cause when I tell you Nene, every other month she coming out, she looking more euro and more euro and more euro. Incredible. Come on, please. Okay. So I actually, Lily, I pulled up some people blast from the past, okay, that people probably forgot about, right? And now they probably wouldn't recognize them because they look like, I'm telling you, they look like they could be my sisters now.
This
So
is
tonight,
crazy.
ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about white fishing, right? And I know the retort, and I'm not gonna let y'all get away with the retort. I'm not gonna let y'all get away with the excuse tonight. Because you know what the retort is, Lily? And let me ring the race bell right up front because race
But
is gonna be spilling all over the block. I mean, we're gonna need fucking sanitation to come and clean this. There's gonna be let's just get it out the way in the beginning, okay? White fishing appears to be a thing. Now, where did I get that from? Okay, you know, catfishing is somebody pretending to be somebody else, right? To catfish somebody online. And then a couple years ago, blackfishing became very, very popular. That term was used for like when white girls do cornrows or when white girls braid their hair or tan or get tans and get their lips injected and things like that. The Kardashians have been accused of blackfishing. I'm gonna get the official urban term because you know it's all about urbano now. Okay, urban is mainstream now, honey.
Rachel Dolezal.
Rachel Dolezal, I spoke about her today on my Facebook. I'm glad you brought her up because I want to say something about her.
Okay.
Yep, I certainly do.
oh, Miss Ruth, you want some titties like Jen? I love it.
What does Miss Ruth need?
Miss Ruth wants some titties like yours. I thought you were gonna
I,
say something.
honey, it's all in the bra. It's all in the bra. Get you a nice, sturdy. Can you hear that? That's all it is.
I'm gonna get me some new ones.
Right now, I'm tit fishing. I'm tit fishing, y'all, but it works. I'm tit
It, it
fishing.
it works. It definitely works.
You gotta tit fish every now and then. The guys don't mind. So blackfishing exactly means when a white person has purposely made themselves appear black on the internet. Okay? That is a definition. Now, they've even accused Latinas of blackfishing. Like Erica Mena very recently had a very dark tan, and they said, well, she's blackfishing too. So I'm just saying it cuts both ways, okay? When you look at this thumbnail, right? Because the claim is that you're blackfishing and monetizing blackfishing, right? But we all know statistically, if you do the research, blonde pop stars make more money. Blondes make more money statistically, period. That is why we've seen every single black pop artist there's ever been. I'm not talking about neo soul. Okay, I'm not talking about rock and roll. I'm talking about pop stars. Every single black pop star that we've had has gone blonde. All of them. The Latinas have gone more blonde if they were blonde, like Shakira. Shakira's not a blonde. Jennifer Lopez is not a blonde. Blondes make more money in pop culture, okay? That is why they do it. That is why you've seen Beyonce her whole career under a blonde wig. They've all done it. Rihanna, the rapper Eve, they've all done it. It just makes more money. We didn't make the rules. That's how it is, right? So Black women wear blonde wigs and they monetize it because they know it's going to make them more money. So isn't all fair in fashion and war if they claim white women are acting or looking or blackfishing for money? I don't get it. I feel like every woman does it. So I don't get the beef. Now, the reason is, well, when we wear braids, we don't make money like they do. And when they wear braids, it becomes part of pop culture and it's in vogue. But I'm like, well, honey, you guys make money off of appearing more European and white. So isn't it the same thing? Correct me if I'm wrong if I continue, before I continue and pull up these pictures. Lily, no saying?
I mean, they get upset. Some people really do. They get upset. It was the last thing you said with, oh God, was the last sentence you said that made me like go back. Like, what the? Oh God, what was the last sentence you said? No thing you remember?
Was it anything about shoot, now I'm drawing a blank, but was anything about the amount of money people are making, like they're getting upset that because of pop culture, it becomes pop culture when white people do it? I don't know if that's what you were talking about.
Lily, were you thinking about when I said
yes. It becomes pop culture, but a lot of times it's us that pushes other people through that are wearing the black aesthetic, right? Like it to me, through observation, no one loves a white person or Asian person or a Latino person, whoever, to wear the black aesthetic better than more than black people. Like we will see a Woe Vicky or Catch Me Outside or whoever, and they're all on the shade room. They're all on all of the black sites, and who's under the comment section and who's doing duets and stitches to their TikToks and things like that. It's not the white people. So I'm with Jen on this, and I've always been. This is a stance that I've had forever, and this is before where we're at now, right? Because I've always saw it that way. I've always seen everyone appropriate everyone's culture, especially in America. Isn't America like a melting pot anyway? It's kind of hard to really stay in your own culture unless you're like in the middle of Kansas somewhere and all you see is white people who look just like you and all of that stuff. But yeah, like I feel like it's all fair and everyone's doing it at this point. So what's the real issue?
What is the real issue? I guess you're talking about accountability, Lily.
I from what Lily's saying, I can kind of agree with her. I mean, I do agree with her a lot of what she's saying. Like, for instance, yeah, Vanilla Ice made a lot. He made a lot of money, and it was mostly supported by white people. But if he got the stamp of black approval, he would have gone he would have gone even further. So like Eminem, black people give him like the stamp of approval. If they diss him, like all of a sudden the black people started dissing Vanilla Ice, then later on you're like, no, I never owned a Vanilla Ice album. I I hated that song. White people will push it away faster. So there is something to what you're saying. Like we the society waits for like the stamp of approval. But anyway, I don't want to go too far off what we're talking about.
Yeah, because
Okay.
there's way more to this.
Yeah, there's way more. I do notice, you know, I do notice I look at certain things, I scroll social media and stuff, and I'm like, make up your goddamn mind. Like, make up your mind. Either you love white people being in the culture or you don't. Because like Lily said, I've seen videos after video. If a white girl is doing a basic hip hop dance step, black people spread her like wildfire. I mean like wildfire. And I'm like, you do know that y'all are making her famous. That chick that looks like she's slow. Period. Period. She went viral, right? What was this, last year?
Hmm.
And when
Yeah.
when she dropped her music video, Lily, nothing but black girls in the video. It wasn't any white girls there. Or any white
And even the black celebrities were doing TikTok duets
girls.
and stitches to her. So it was both the general population and the black celebrities as well.
Right. And I also see those videos. I have a pet peeve. These white people, they go to Africa, right? Great. Travel. Do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. But I loathe the visual aesthetically when there's a white girl dancing in a village. Lily, you already know where I'm going because I fuck shit. I hate it.
I'm
There's
always picturing it too because it's so real.
there's always some fucking white chick in the middle with her long blonde hair dancing with 15 African children behind her, and everybody's smiling. She's in the middle, right? My issue is, bitch, why are you standing in the middle? Stand up here. Why do you have to be in the fucking middle like some sort of fucking god there? So, but that shit, I'm telling you, don't ever let me be in Africa and see one of them bitches making a TikTok. I
No,
promise.
no, you know what's funny, Jen? To your point, I'm like I go further. You know how we are, our imaginations, right? I picture like people coming back, like late, like 1,000 years from now, and they're like, "Oh, they must have been the gods that they were worshiping." They see all those videos, and they're like, "These must have been the gods that they were worshiping."
Oh my God. There's also another chick that went viral because she was always doing videos running around with this little white girl. I don't know if you guys remember her, seeing her, but it's a black woman and she's always doing like these African dances with this little white girl. And everybody was like, oh, look at the white girl doing that. So the people that uphold these quote unquote black fishers are black people. And that's why I'm saying, do you want white people in the culture or not? If you ask the average black guy who loves hip hop, who's your top five? He has the audacity, the gall, and the gumption to fix his lips to put Eminem in his top five. Now, I'm not saying that Eminem isn't a good rapper by any means or stretch of the imagination. However, I always thought he was who is that guy that used to do the parodies of music? I'm aging us right now. You
Weird
know,
Weird
Al.
Yankovic.
yes, yes. I've always seen Eminem as a caricature of hip hop. Okay. And the only people that would get mad at me saying that is, guess who? Black people. Right? Now, hip hop
Well,
has been around since hold on. Hip hop has been around. I'll pass the mic. Hip hop has been around since the 70s. Since the 70s, we've seen a lot of MCs, a lot of lyricists. Okay. And you're going to put Eminem in your top five. Okay. Passing the mic, no saying.
yeah, I want to say something. I don't know if this is the same, and if anybody in the chat, maybe they think that way too. Maybe they feel that way when they're mentioning top five things. So, like, not today, because today it's told the field is totally different. There's many more representations for black quarterbacks. But back in the day, when you named off your top 10 quarterbacks, a white person would go out of his way to mention like Warren Moon or Randall Cunningham because they were great athletes, because you didn't want to feel racist if you didn't mention the one odd, the odd kind of on the fringe black quarterback compared to all the other great white quarterbacks, right? Or, maybe a black person would mention Larry Bird in his top 5, because there's not a lot of white people. And you don't want to feel like, well, if I don't mention this guy, they're going to think, you know what I'm saying? Maybe there's some of that going on. I don't know.
Well, for what you just said, I understand why a white person, honestly, would have 5 white quarterbacks because they're predominantly white.
Right.
I completely understand that. I'm like, well, the quarterbacks are predominantly white, especially back then. Of course, you're going to, but in hip hop, it is 99.9% black. So in that demographic, you're going to throw Eminem in your top 5? It's insulting, but it's laughable, right? It's laughable because the same people will say, well, look at the white people monetizing the culture. We don't own hip hop. Well, who's giving it away?
And that's the real point, the protection. I believe for culture to exist and to thrive, some form of protection and separation has to take place. I happened to run across, have you all heard of there's a tribe, right? They're like the most isolated tribe in the world. And they've lasted like 60,000 plus years, right? They do not, under any circumstances, let anyone come on their island, right? So India was forced because they don't play no games. They don't want your gifts. They don't want your coconuts. They don't want shit from you. They don't want your people. They don't want your sex. They don't want your nothing, right? And so India has forced, they protected it. They you can't go within like 8 miles of their island and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, that's the reason why their ass survived because they protected it and kept the people out, because we all know the stories. It's like once we let the outsiders in, you got and the few times the outsiders did get in, they fucked up. So these people learned their lesson. They're like, okay, no more outsiders, out, everybody out. No one else is getting in. We don't give a fuck how many gifts you have. And people come with gifts and they kill their ass. So there's a reason.
Yeah, like that. I think that's the one that put an arrow through a Bible and the
Oh yeah, I remember them. That was funny.
I like those people. I really like those people.
But I don't think they're protect. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Lily. I just don't know. I don't think it's hard to protect ideas, or you know what I'm saying? It really is hard, especially if you're monetizing it yourself. Then people are gonna use it to try to make money, and it's gonna be appropriated. So I don't know how you would actually say you can protect certain things. I don't know.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. I agree with you, No Saint, right? It's impossible. Like, we live on the same fucking planet. It's impossible. My thing is the fucking hypocrisy. The hypocrisy. If you're gonna say white women are blackfishing and monetizing, then again, I have to throw up this thumbnail. Then what the fuck is this? What is it? Beyonce is in full control of her career. Motherfuckers don't fart near her without her fucking co-signing it. That photo dropped. She knew it would go viral. That looks like a white woman to me. Latin at best, but that looks like a white woman to me.
Which one's Beyonce?
Top right.
That's Beyonce.
That's Beyonce.
Because even the left picture, I see some things going on in the left picture. I've been seeing some things with Beyonce for a minute. Yeah.
And then you have Little Kim, bottom right. No, that's not an Asian woman.
I recognize her.
Okay, Little Kim, bottom right, next to her picture on the left. Then you have Nene Leakes. Nene Leakes turned into Maria from the Dominican hair salon. I don't care what nobody says.
No, dead ass. She's the fly Dominican auntie that you can't wait to see come around.
Yes. So these
got all
women,
the money.
Yes, these women are monetizing looking white. They're monetizing looking white. If these women turned around, you'd be like, oh, look at the white lady, right? Maybe the white lady got, her ass done. So my thing is, if you can't protect the culture, now I'm talking about all different cultures, right? Don't be a hypocrite, because you're going to do it too. Your hair doesn't grow out of your head like that. And again, the retort is, way in Africa and Australia, deep down in the cave, some Aboriginal people grow blonde hair and they're black. No, that's not who you're emulating. You are emulating the American white woman. You are not emulating no African tribe in a cave that happens to grow blonde curly hair. I've seen them too. Calm down. That is not who you're emulating. Knock it off.
I
You
mean,
didn't
and
because, well, black people can make every color in the world. That is not why you have 50 inches of Remy Yaki Brazilian blonde on your hair. That is not why you're doing it. Stop the cap.
so throughout history, right? This is how I know it's cap. This is historically people do this, kind of like what No Say was saying. Like people are going to take from things, but historically, who they take from are the rulers, like the higher ups in society. They're going to emulate them. Um, I, I'm horrible with numbers, but during some point in history, right? During all points of history, but especially during that point, because now things are so conflated or whatever. But garments and fashion determine what tax bracket you were in, what part of society you were in, right? But people from the other parts of the lower parts of society started to emulate the people of the upper echelon, right? So it's kind of like one of those things because it represents prosperity, it represents wealth. Actually, I've asked a lot of Africans this question because you think of Africa, you think of Black Pride, motherland, and all this stuff. But that's where the like the skin bleaching and in the Caribbean, that's where it's huge. Like it's huge, 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 right? Like it's hard to see an African person that's not Michael Jackson color at this point, right? Especially if it's huge. So that's what's clearly going on over there because I every person I talked to about that and I asked that question they said that is it a symbol? It's a symbol of wealth and prosperity to bleach your skin to emulate the ruler.
Okay, great segue, Lily. Let's look at some women. These are urban icons, okay? Let's take a look at, we all know who Superhead is, right? Corinne Stevens. Her name is now Elizabeth Ovenson. She changed her name again. Okay. This is how we remember her, right? Speaking of the skin bleaching and all of that. That's Superhead. That's Superhead. Corinne Stevens, aka now known as Elizabeth Ovenson. There you go. Hey, we remember her. We remember her.
Yeah,
You want to see what she looks like now?
I'm scared.
What? Well, she looked like my sister now. There she
Oh
go.
my God.
That is her.
That's how the Africans look now. Like when and the Jamaicans and the Haitians when I'm
So this is her back then. How we remember her, right? We remember them videos. We all saw them videos, right? Sucking the skin off a penis was in my style, but hey, a lot of people liked it, and that's her now. This is her now. You guys remember Angel Lola Love? Do you remember her?
I don't.
Lee? If I show you her,
No.
you'll remember her.
Okay. Yeah, I'm horrible with names though. Good with faces though.
You remember her?
I remember her ass. That's who I remember.
Remember?
So, like I do remember her face.
Do you remember her ass before it fell? Her ass was everything before it fell.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Before it fell, it was, woo.
I didn't know it fell. Rest in peace.
Yeah. So you can actually see it in the movie. I forgot who produced it. I don't know if 50 Cent produced it, and it looks really chewed up. I don't know about now, but okay, so we remember her. She was an it girl, right? She was in all the rap videos, what have you. You want to see her now?
I'm scared.
There she is.
That's Drea from Basketball Wives. She's
No,
something to Drea?
no, that is Angel Lola Love now. Lola Monroe. She changed her name as well. Her name is Lola Monroe now. And just for the record, these are recent. I went to their Instagram page today.
Oh, hold on. I cannot let this go by without calling this out. I'm sorry.
Okay.
What did Superhead change her last name to?
Ovenson.
And what did she change her last name to? The pretty ass
Monroe.
Okay, continue.
Lily, you got something to share. Bring it to the class.
It's on brand. I mean, like bleach the skin, get the different last name to match the skin. Like just a
Are you?
little.
Are they white fishing?
I'm just saying, like it's a lot of circumstantial evidence here. So let's just keep on presenting the evidence. But I couldn't let that slide because I'm seeing the pattern. But let's go.
I just want to show this one more time because I don't want you guys to think I'm capping. I went to their Instagram channels today and got screenshots of their videos. So this isn't even a picture that you can say, oh, this was a picture that's touched up. I screenshot this from their videos. They were moving videos. The Lola Monroe is selling that soap, and Corinne Stevens, Superhead, she was cleaning up her house. This is from today. I got this today. That's why I was actually running a little late because I had to go scroll through their shit. That's Superhead. That's Lola Monroe. That used to be Lola Monroe. This used to be Superhead. I'm not making this shit up. Not making it up. Okay, you guys can go to their accounts after this and see for yourself. Now I got something for Kari because Kari got on my nerves a little bit.
Did you get K Michelle?
I didn't get K Michelle.
She's a whole nother person. Like
No, she got a whole face transplant. I know she
a
did.
whole face transplant. Like if it wasn't for the voice, I would not know that. I promise you, when she first got the new face that she has now, and she posted a picture, so I felt like everybody else. I was like, okay, this has got to be tons of makeup, lighting, Photoshop, all of the above, right?
Mhm.
With a little bit of voodoo, right? And so then I went to her page like you did, and she did a video cussing us out, saying that she didn't get any work done. Now I'm watching the video in amazement because the only thing I recognize is the voice. And she's just going on and on cussing us out. And I'm like, this is insane. Because I'm a facial person because of doing makeup and stuff like that. So facial features, any small little change, I'm going to notice. And I usually can tell if it's filter, plastic surgery, makeup, or a combination.
Yeah, when you work with faces, you could tell if me and this woman were in a room, you'd be like, "Oh, Jen's sisters are here." That's what you
Hola, mamacita.
Yeah, I would say that that is probably the medium people are trying to go to. Would be what we call the Latino look. You know what I mean? I think
they end up looking Latin.
Yeah, white people are trying to get to that color. Black people are trying to get to some black people are trying to get to that color. I thought Superhead looked better prior.
Me too.
So why? Because when they bleach, they get that chicken cutlet tone that I hate.
That drives me nuts, Jen. Because the makeup thing again. That undertone doesn't exist.
Mhm.
That's an anemic. I need a blood transfusion undertone.
Wait, put up her again.
Okay. New Superhead or old Superhead?
New one.
That's new.
Okay. She doesn't. I was gonna say she looked like Dana with the data, but maybe not.
No.
It's definitely few other people said it definitely is giving like Latina or mixed fish.
It's looking for even the Kardashians. I know a lot of women were like, they trying to look black. They look Latina. They look Latina to me. When they tan, they got the ass. They look like Puerto Rican chicks from the Bronx with the big asses. I mean, my niece is built exactly like that, except her ass and tits are real. But I'm like, they end up to me looking Latin, right?
Mm-hmm.
With but then again, we're all, mixed,
Mm-hmm.
So like
they do the same thing.
Yeah. So this is for Kari, because you people with that fucking M&M, boy, it's a thorn in my side. Kari, I'm the bleaching process. They do it with pills now. They used to do it like in Africa and India and Asia. They do it with creams, right? There's literally creams where you can rub off the freaking melanin. But now they do it with pills. They're literal pills now that you could take and enlighten you after a certain amount of time, and then that way you get it more like you don't have to worry about getting in your ears and in between your toes, right? The pills work, as you can see. So a lot of women are doing this now.
I would never like. I would, first of all, if I could have my summer tan all year round, I would be
Lily,
so
I'm
happy.
tan right now, okay?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Because you know how pale I get. I am tan right now. This is so I'm gonna split the screen for a minute, and this is why I say I'm gonna pull up Twista versus Eminem. And you guys have probably seen this video, maybe you haven't, okay? But I'm like, I don't care how good Eminem is. If there is a black man that's either on par with him or better, there's no reason for Eminem in the top 5. There just isn't. Okay? All right. So I'm gonna share the screen. And I'm gonna play this for y'all. Because Kari, I'm about to cut you, Kari. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that he's not good. I'm just saying that he doesn't have to be in a top 5 or a top 10. I stand by. If I met him, I would tell him, you don't deserve to be in top 10. You just don't. Not with 50 years. Hip hop just turned 50 this year. Not with 50 years of rappers. Not with 50 years of rappers does Eminem need to be in the fucking top 10. He just doesn't. It's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. Let me share this screen.
I remember the Asian kid that tried to break in and he got signed to Rough Riders. I don't know whatever happened to that. I think he's still battle rapping, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably. So this
Anybody
is
know out here?
This is Twista versus Eminem. Y'all can see that, right?
Yes.
And this is just gonna be a clip because this is longer, but I'm sure this is like the short version.
Motherfucker, you better duck, you finna be dead the minute you hurt enemy. 100% of you is 50% of me. Motherfucker, finish you, bitch. I'm available. You wanna battle? I'm available. I'm low. Fucking with a common denominator, cause I'm gonna be the mediator for the even if I hate it up against a veteran. I'm an opponent feeling like you wanted, I'm on it, I wanna do it, I'm a killer, my innovative for rhythm, and I'm in amount of energy, wanna be at my level. Motherfucker, you better duck, you finna be dead the minute you hurt enemy. 100% of you is 50% of me. Motherfucker, finish you, bitch. I'm available. You wanna battle?
I wish it was the longer one.
You're a monster. Fucking with a common denominator, cause I'm gonna be the mediator for the even if I hate it up against a veteran. I'm an opponent feeling like you wanted, I'm on it, I wanna do it, I'm a killer, my innovative for rhythm, and I'm in amount of energy, wanna be at my level, lower the other with the butter and the vocal epitome, got a gutter with the dagger like a venomous cinnamon, never started, wanna be doing it. I'ma come through it when I'm ruining it. For whatever competitor coming, they gotta do it. And I'm breaking them up on a part of it. Itty bitty amount of hit it with the data, without it, never do it. It was sort of an originator, giving it what it was still able to be. All into the music and the mechanism, making the touch and the immaculate amount of melody, and be in the way to get your bodies affecting the feeling that you gotta get when you be hearing the way. I'ma put it together when I come with the pattern and punish your motherfucker. What the fuck am I to do when nobody could ever come in the killer? I'm in the habit of crushing the motherfucker. Twista.
Listen, okay? Listen to me, y'all. Y'all ain't listening to me. Y'all ain't listening to me. Did you see him? Did you see that shit? This is
I need
why
to know how many words.
Eminem in your top 10.
Words?
That is all I'm saying. Yes, Eminem was fun to watch. Yes, he's a caricature, in my opinion, of hip hop. Yes, Eminem got bars. Yes, he got metaphors. All I'm saying is Twista exists. Black Thought. Yeah, right.
Abby, he came out years before Eminem. Like years, like a decade. Oh my god. Oh god.
The blasphemy on the 50th anniversary of hip hop. Was he rapping like that before Eminem?
I wouldn't say a decade, but like 5-6 years before. About 5-6 years before Eminem.
Ay, Dios mío.
Yeah.
All the dead rappers just rolled over in their grave. That was just my point. Oh, Abby says she never heard of him. Oh, okay, so she's not familiar.
Yeah, he is in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Yeah, I mean, and then he was just, and then he was all move with it. You know what I mean? It's like,
no, I think they're all ripping off the FedEx guy on the commercial. You don't remember that guy that would sit there and speak real fast? It was you don't remember the guy that on the commercials where he would.
I think I know what you're talking. Yeah, I think I remember.
I'm playing. They didn't rip him off, but I'm just playing. That's what it reminds me of, like the guy that just.
Google it.
Yeah.
I'd have to Google it.
I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you.
POV said being cut by Jen means you're officially in blood in, blood out. Okay, blood in, blood out. So again, my thing is with these women, when you see something like that, when you see the complexion change, the drastic complexion change, now these women are capitalizing and making money off of looking whiter or lighter.
Mhm.
So does cultural appropriation exist? Now, again, the response is they're making money off of looking black. That's the response. Now, is that fair? And also, but aren't you making money from looking white?
I mean, this is the thing. This is a hard, I guess, truth. The way I see it. Okay, so it's like this. We're in America. Let's just take America for an example, right? What they say, like this is a man's world, right? Well, America is this is like a white man's country, right? So if we're jacking off of them and they're jacking off of us, and we're making money off of their culture and they're making money off of our culture, typically, just numbers wise, they're going to make more off of appropriating us than we're going to make off of appropriating them, because typically they pay them more anyway across the board before we even get to bleaching and tanning. So then when you add in the bleaching and tanning, nothing really changes. Both are monetizing. It's just that the whites usually are able to demand more money. And then you got to look at it that they're being supported by both the whites and the blacks, mostly the blacks. But when blacks do it, typically like a Nene, a Tamar, a K Michelle, it's just mostly the blacks.
Damn, white people don't give a damn about a lighter skinned Nene.
They don't.
But they give a damn about a darker skinned Kim Kardashian. And Kim Kardashian she transcends ethnicity and race, right? So could it be an envy thing? You make more money looking like me than I can make looking like you. Is that an envy thing? Right? Because you know how I'm be saying, it's like you don't mind oppression, you just don't want to be oppressed.
Right. And I feel like that's a natural emotion until you put it into perspective and like, damn, I'm just kind of more upset because this is not fair, because we're both appropriate and they just happen to make more. And I don't like it. That's a more honest way of doing it. But that's just too right. So the better way to do it is lash out in anger.
Jay Regal says,
yeah. Oh,
Jay Cavassier, there's no Eminem slander. It's just he's not in top 10 in 50 years of hip hop. That's not slander. Now, if you suck them, suck them. But I'm not slandering somebody. That's like, I mean, it's like, I'm not gonna say that Ciara is in the top 10 of vocalists because you're a fan of Ciara. That would be ludicrous for me to say. I stand by, in 50 years of hip hop, Eminem should not be in the top 10. I stand by that, and I'd say it to his fucking face. In 50 years of hip hop, sir, you should not be in the top 10. It's absurd that you would be in the top 10 in 50 years of hip hop. Listen to what I said. 50 years of lyricists, MCs, Eminem in the top 10? No, absolutely not. And I stand by that. And I don't care which one of y'all sucking him. And I guarantee y'all would be defending him over someone who's black. Because remember, if you think that Eminem should be in the top 10, then that means you're bumping out somebody black. You do realize
not just that. I don't think that they would, if he was black, they wouldn't put him over somebody black. You get what I'm saying? Like if he was black, yeah, he wouldn't be in their top 10. He wouldn't even have the career that he has right now. Like, I think he knows that that's what gave him the push. Anybody would know that, like we love that shit. Like,
well, oh, wow. I will throw this in here. I think there is a tenderness or a soreness of how, let's just go back to say Elvis was making a lot of money off of songs that black people had made before that didn't even get recognition. So I think in that sense, because Jen, like you're saying, these things don't matter in the white community. If a black girl puts on blonde hair and it does, it's like, okay, But
Like,
for
I
a
think-
black person, it's a lot different because of I think some of it has to do with the history of, white people are going to make more money doing certain things in this country and around the world, and the past of not being allowed to really profit off of talents, and then white people coming along and taking it and making a ton of money. So I think there's that too.
But speaking of money, you guys could cash at me on the block with Jen to help Mama keep the street lights on. Also, super chat me. Chat, I see y'all going off in the chat. Y'all are going off in the chat. I ain't seen damn one super chat yet though. Y'all going off without a super chat. I'm not listening. Kari, thank you. Kari said Eminem wouldn't have sold like he sold if he was black. That's because of the appeal of what? Look at this white guy doing what black people do really well.
Because they're not supposed to be able to do that. They're not supposed to be able to do that,
That's the selling point. It's no different than I said, like when these white chicks go to Africa and they dancing in the middle of 10 African children. It's like, look at that white girl go. Never mind that the black children are doing the same exact dance. Forget what they're doing. Forget that they're 5 years old and doing backflips. Look at the white girl go. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's that same appeal. Eminem is the white lady dancing in the middle of Africans. That is exactly what he's doing. Eminem is that white girl dancing in the middle of the Africans. And that's why he gets all that attention. And these black dudes suck Eminem, a fat one. They suck him. You can't talk about their white rap god. You cannot talk about a white rap god. Ooh, how dare you? Don't you dare talk about their white rap god. Your fucking audacity. And then they wonder why. Okay? America is what it is. It looks at them the way they do. We throw a white rap at you and you sucking them. You forget 50 years of hip hop.
I mean, and it's not just that. It's across the board. It's in business. We know the stats of how long it takes a black dollar to circulate before it's out of the community, and that's across the board. But it goes back to something that I haven't said in a while or a couple of weeks. A lot of black people don't like black people, and so I don't think it's consciously, it is subconsciously, right? The support will go to others before it goes to someone that looks like us.
Their water's cold.
Oh God, yeah. And I really wish I could find that. It's a meme. I really wish I could find that, like, really shows that of a black person doing business with different cultures, and then it shows the black person doing business with a black person and how they treat the other black person versus how they treat the other cultures. I didn't see not one line in that meme. So this is just another example of that.
East Grapple says A Tribe Called Quest is better than M. Anyone who knows hip hop knows. And again, I am not saying that Eminem is not a talented human being. I am not saying that. I really am not saying that. I'm not saying that Eminem is not talented. And I think that's what people hear. Like, what do you mean? Eminem can rap. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, again, in 50 years of hip hop, for Eminem, okay, to be in your top 10 is a slap in the face of the culture. And y'all do it. Y'all the ones that do it. Y'all the ones that put white people above other people. It's y'all. And then y'all mad that white people are above you, but it's y'all. Y'all doing it. It's y'all.
Right.
Ain't nobody else.
Oh, and Carol wants to know why I'm wearing women's clothing. It's because I'm appropriating Jesus. I want to wear a dress just like him. Next question.
Who am I appropriating? We're all appropriating today.
We're all appropriating someone.
I'm appropriating being a nice person. Yes, Twista is in the Guinness Book of World Records. Carl says, I'm sorry, but comparing black fishing to white fishing is ignorant. How so? Elaborate. How's it ignorant? It's black and white. Okay? How is it ignorant? You could elaborate. I'd love to hear it. Don't get blocked, y'all. She's
about to get blocked.
Yeah, because we're like one of the dopest podcasts on fucking YouTube. You know you have fun here. Don't be an ignorant bitch. Like, if you don't want to be here, go. But don't get yourself blocked. Okay, let's have a good time. You know I like having a good time. So here's the thing. Homie said comparing black fishing to white fishing is ignorant. Okay, let's explore the ignorance, homie. Okay, right? Those black women, those are black women. Okay, if you rip their wigs off, afros sprout out. All three: Beyonce, Little Kim, and Nene Leakes. They are not blondes. They don't have naturally European noses or European skin color. Name one of them. And they are capitalizing and monetizing acting and looking blonde as possible and white as possible. According to the Urban Dictionary, blackfishing is white women who tan and cornrow their hair. So who's the ignorant one, you or me? It's two sets of women that are not the race of the other, capitalizing and monetizing another culture. Are you slow? Do you want me to write it down? Are you slow? It is the same exact thing. It doesn't matter that one is marginalized and one is at the bottom. It is the same fucking thing. Matter of fact, the black women aren't even at the bottom. They're making lots of money pretending to be white, pretending to be European. Lots of money. So what are you talking about? It's the same exact thing.
Yeah, because let me think about this. Do we think that Nene would be in the position that she's in if she didn't get? Because
No.
Nene was too homely. Like she was kind of homely, older looking auntie. Now she's giving French Dominican auntie. So that I guess that's giving more of the aesthetic.
Yes. Beyonce does have Creole background. However, Beyonce does not look like that top right picture.
I think
Beyonce doesn't look like the top left. Beyonce does not look Creole and all. That is not what Beyonce looks like top right. You will know it. I know it.
She looks like Shakira. The top right.
Yeah. I sent this to a friend of mine. He was like, "Who's that?" I was like, "Take a look." He was like, "Who's that? Who? The Kardashian? One of the Kardashians?" I said, "No, that's Beyonce."
It's crazy.
Yeah, better stop. Okay. So Carl is like, you aren't all the way wrong, but you were ignoring historical context. Well, here's the thing. We're here in 2023.
I know, because everybody wants to go.
Yeah, everybody. The historical context is in 2023, there is zero reason, okay? Remember Black Girl Magic, okay? In 2023, there's zero reason
Black excellence.
A black woman to be underneath 20 inches of blonde hair, especially a wealthy black woman. What's the reason? Because of slavery? So you think that Beyonce is under a white, and she's a billionaire. According to her, you heard her. She said it. Things go down. There's $1 billion in the elevator, right? A man is worth $1 billion. She's worth $1 billion. So she has zero need to run around looking like a white woman. Zero. So this is completely and utterly a decision, a choice. This was a choice. She woke up. Oh, what color wigs did you guys deliver? Tired. What color wigs are here today? I like that one. No, the blonder one. Okay, what lighting are we going to use? That's too dark. I'd like to look lighter. Like I said, people around Beyonce don't even fart, okay, without her permission. That was a choice. So what historical context? What historical context regarding Little Kim, Nene Leakes, Lola Monroe, Superhead? What historical context? Give me the historical context. Because all those women have money. What historical context? Because slavery happened, they want to act like white women now? What's the historical context? I'm confused. I want to hear the historical context. Why they run around looking like? Why are they white fishing? What's the historical context?
Well, then the retort is always, well, some black women can't wear their hair natural in workplaces. Okay, I can understand that argument, but why go this far? Like, why chop off your nose, bleach your skin, get whole different hair, change your name? Like, that's like overkill if that's what the problem is. If that's what the actual problem is.
Carl, I just dropped the link. Come on up. I just dropped the link.
Because
Come
this
up
is
and explain the historical. Come up and explain the historical context of why all those women look white or Latina at the
why do
very
I
least.
have a feeling I can already know what this script is going to sound like?
I
You
want to
just
hear. The historical. He said it's not. He said slavery. Laughing my ass off. Let me come up. All right. So then it's not slavery. So I want you to give me the historical context of why Beyonce, Little Kim, Nicki Minaj, Nene Leakes, Lola Monroe, Curran Stevens. I want to know why they're all either bleached or purposely using a certain lighting to look lighter, and why they're all blonde. Come on up and give me the historical context. I want to hear.
And
No,
my
I'm really curious. Like I'm honestly curious because he said it's not slavery. So I'm really curious.
and
Honestly.
mind you, all of the examples that you gave, Jim,
Mm-hmm.
they did these things after we knew who they were. They didn't do these things to enter into. So these were by choice.
Mm-hmm.
Clear, all by choice. It wasn't out of necessity. Because now there's a young lady on TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
because yes, lighter skin does get pushed through the algorithm, right? So there's a young African lady, a girl on TikTok. She decided to put it to the test, and she would purposely make herself look lighter on camera, and her followers went up. Her everything. She was the same exact content, just lighter, and she was pushed through the algorithm. So if
Yeah.
someone would be honest, like, listen, bitch, I'm trying to get through the algorithm. I'm trying to make a coin. The girl is tired of some scratching and surviving. I'd be like, okay, I get it. With the play in our face, like, oh, black, I'm oppressed. How oppressed are you, Nene or Beyonce or Tamar? Where's this oppression that we're talking about? Because I can understand having to do some things, but this is just simple
Thank you.
choice.
Thank you, Amin Morris, for the super chat. Somebody respect my time around. Thank you, darling. Appreciate you. We spoke about that. Who is this? What? Valley Native Creole. Can we discuss light-skinned Black people actually tanning like Beyonce in the booth, fake baking? Yes, we discussed that. We discussed it both ways. We discussed black fishing and white fishing, but I wanted to explore the hypocrisy. When white women do cornrows, when white women tan, when white women get big asses, and let me tell you, Atlanta is the fucking they got the monopoly on fake asses. Okay, so I don't even know why people even say white girls are trying to look black, because if you watch any housewife show, all them heifers got fake asses and tiny
It's
waist and tits, all of them.
it's not just the housewives at this point down there. It's
Yeah.
the nurses, it's the hostess when you go into the restaurant. It's the girl that's sweeping your feet at the hospital when you're in the waiting room. Like it's
The bus
everybody.
drivers, the fucking girl at Starbucks got the BBL.
Teacher. Yeah.
Okay, wait. The God Papa says M is my guy, but I can name 50 rappers that are top tier rappers and lyricists before M. Not taking anything from M's talent and rap caliber, but let's be honest, people. That's my point. Thank you. Salute to you, sir.
And can we say something? These kind of conversations always humor me, because if he's top 1,000 in the world, that's pretty damn good. You know what I mean? I mean, you're talking about out of people in the world. If he's number 1,000,
I'll put him in the top 1,000.
That's what I'm saying. That's damn good. So
I'll put him in the top 1,000.
yeah. Like when we're, it's just like, people talking about, Jordan and everything. I'm like, dude, if you're in the NBA, you're freaking better than billions of people in basketball. So, I mean, we're like,
correct.
Yeah.
Okay, Carl, you have the microphone. Tell us the historical content.
So,
you said the historical context of. Hold on 1 second, sir. Welcome to the panel, by the way. Tell me the historical context of why these Black women, right here on the screen, why they're all pretending to look or appear white, why they hack off half their face to get European features, and why they stay under blonde wigs. Give me the historical context. The microphone is yours.
So I don't even need to give you the historical context. All I could say is white supremacy, and I'm pretty sure you'll understand that. Like, that's literally the one word I need to say. White supremacy affects Black people in a way that it doesn't affect white people. It affects us by making us hate ourselves, right? So we're sort of gonna want to look more white, or basically make ourselves adhere to the white beauty standard. Whereas white people don't necessarily have a reason to want to look black other than to monetize it, because the standard is already white, right? So what reason would they want to look black other than to monetize it? My thing is, white people have historically ostracized, well, in America specifically, they've historically ostracized black people for black features. So now it's super hypocritical for white people to now seek those features and make money off of it. Whereas if you look at it from a if you look at it from the other point of view, it's not necessarily, it's like it is also it's also sorry, I'm pretty nervous right now, but it's also hypocritical for black people to do it, but it's less so, it's more understanding because they're coming from a marginalized group, right? So because they've been oppressed for so long, it's more understanding that a black person would do that than a white person than a white person trying to look black. I guess what I'm trying to say is that there's nuance in this topic, and it's very, the reason why I said it's very ignorant to just compare the two blatantly is because there's no historical oppression for white features the same way there's historical oppression for black features.
Okay, so for the most part, I agree with what you said. However, it is nuanced, and I'm specifically talking about black women who are capitalizing off of looking white. Now, you said that white people do it to monetize, right? To monetize.
Right.
None of the women I put on the screen are hurting for money. Beyonce's worth $1 billion. She is not the average black woman who wants to wear locks or braids to her corporate job. Okay.
True.
Those women have to assimilate because I want to work this corporate job. Let me put a wig on. Let me take my cornrows out. Even though this is how I want to wear my hair, I have to assimilate because I have to make money. However, the women I have on the screen, and many like them, are purposely appearing white. So when you talk about white supremacy, right? When you talk about white supremacy, then they are a part of that system because they are black women.
No, that's true. That's true.
How
you're exactly right.
Doing it. They have a platform. Beyonce, if she said tomorrow, check this out. Beyonce went online tomorrow and said, I'm never going to wear a blonde wig again. I'm going to grow my afro out. Millions of women and children would grow afros.
You don't remember? You don't remember they did that? They did that. I was doing makeup during that era, during the formation era, and she was the Black Power, and that was the theme. And people started wearing their hair natural during that period. I was actually doing makeup on a show called Cutting It in the ATL, and they had a huge spike in natural hair doing that. I'm talking huge. And it was funny because, and it's funny that we're bringing this up now because the other day I was just doing something, you know how it's something to pop in your head. And I was like, damn, whatever happened to that natural hair movement? Because it was so strong during that period. But to your point, that's very true. If Beyonce were to come out,
I feel like Beyonce is like, she has been guilty of capitalizing off of the black struggle. Like, she's done it multiple times. Her and Beyonce. I remember when Jay-Z was talking about like people making up words like capitalism or some bullshit. He was saying something that was super ignorant, and it was just obvious that he didn't realize that he was basically doing the same thing that the white man was doing and just trying to call it something different. But no, like Beyonce and Jay-Z both have like, they're both guilty of doing exactly what you're saying. But I think that it's one thing to take celebrities and try and compare celebrities to the average person. Like, a lot of the average black woman isn't doing what Beyonce's doing. And Beyonce's scenario specifically is kind of nuanced too, because Beyonce's mother is damn near like white. Like, Tina looks very, very white. And Beyonce actually tans, like she tanned a lot when she was younger. Now she's older and it's getting closer to the winter time. During the winter, light-skinned people get a lot paler. So I feel like with Beyonce specific, I'm not talking about Lil Kim or Nene Leakes because they're different. With Beyonce, I feel like the lighting plus her getting paler in the winter and just her not being tan that, and plus the blonde platinum wig and her wearing silver, that just like all together like in combination made her look like a white woman. So like I feel like with her specifically, it's different. When Nene
So
leaks,
yeah,
and no, when Nene leaks, that's self-hate. With Lil Kim, that is super self-hate. Like we already know her history and how she had to deal with like all the like bullshit that she was getting from black men, had the comments that they made on her features and the way she looked. So yeah, it's self-hate when you see it a lot of times, but it's more understanding for us to know why they're doing that.
So going back to what you said, Lily, that Super Bowl performance where she went out and she won, because you know, pop stars in general, Madonna's done it, they all do it, they all every album there's a different theme, right? So this was her Blackity Black album, right? In my opinion, this is where Beyonce was like, look, I'm black. But even still with this performance, she put all the dancers in afros and she had to come out with that long blonde.
She always does the blonde. Wait, yeah, no, she always does blonde. Like she always does it. She's been doing it since Destiny's Child.
So where is this thing here? Let me see if I can share the screen. So this was the
and you know that was in the contract that none of the other girls could be blonde too.
Yeah, listen, I want to just say one thing to what he said. I mean, I love his comments and everything, but what I will say about the saying.
One thing though, like let me just make this one comment. Beyonce is
back.
like she's kind of what's the word I'm looking for? She kind of like that's her image, like being like a mixed black woman and having a blonde having like blonde highlights and blonde hair. She kind of like made that like her image, so people like you know how like artists always like have this type of style that they want you to remember them as, to like kind of like iconicize themselves, like with what's her name, with Ice Spice, it's the Orphan Annie, like curly orange hair. Like that's how we're gonna remember Ice Spice now. Like that's her image. Beyonce kind of did that with the blonde hair. Like that was her thing. So I feel like I don't know. The topic is very nuanced. It's like we could say she's white fishing, but like at the same time, her mother's damn near white. She's multiracial black. She's always been rocking the blonde hair. Like when she first started, we always knew she was light skinned. Like I don't know.
I just remembered this isn't the first time she's been accused of this. That's what led up to this moment that we're looking at on the screen. If you don't remember, after what was the second album, you all? The second album that she did, B-Day. That's when people started. That's when the buzz of this same topic around her started happening, and the chatter stopped after this moment here. This isn't the first time.
I don't know
whether it's right or true. This is just not the first time.
No, you're right. I mean, there's always gonna be people like commenting on like if a black artist is like bleaching or whatever. That's always like in conversation. Because I feel like when you join Hollywood, there's an agenda to like sort of like get more Eurocentric features in general. Like it happens. A lot of black people get nose jobs. Like sometimes over time you look at their skin color and you're like, okay, like they're definitely like Megan Good for example. I'm pretty sure she's bleaching as well. So like we see it with a lot of different black artists, but like my point was just that it's like my original point is it's weird to kind of like compare white fishing to black fishing and not look at the nuance behind it.
What about the Africans and the Caribbeans and stuff like that? Like
well, they were colonized, right? So they're dealing with the same shit we're dealing with, and in ways it's actually kind of worse. Especially, so I'm Nigerian American. My parents are from Nigeria. In Nigeria, bleaching is terrible. It's so bad, and the reason why it's so bad is because of colonialism and imperialism. Like it's the same thing that happened in America without the slavery.
Well,
I just want to say the only thing I want to push back a little bit on from what he said earlier, which a lot of points were good points, is that I don't think like the context of how, like you're talking about how Black people's features were made fun of, you know, let's just say, for lack of better, let's just say 50 years ago. Okay, let's just make it short. But people are born today. They're not thinking about, oh, I think that, you know, the people that are doing it today, who are making their lips bigger and going for the BBLs, they're not thinking, it's not the same. I don't think they're being hypocritical. It's kind of like a fashion. It's kind of like a fashion thing. Like, this is what's in right now.
Right.
You know,
but
I can't have this
like,
naturally.
no, I hear you 100%, but
Yeah.
like, let's think about this like logically. If you come from a group of people that have been made fun of for X amount of years, right? There's not going to be a cutoff point where that group is going to be like, okay, we're totally fine with you guys now coming around and celebrating our features. Like, there's no cutoff point. It's kind of like a transition period for that to happen. And with America still being as racist as it is today, like, yeah, we don't see people making fun of Black features as much.
Right.
It still happens, but like, one thing that I brought up was the like Black women not being able to wear their hair in the workplace, like the whole, like, I think it's called the Crown Act or something.
Where, yeah, it is.
The point is that we could have these discussions, right? But then we can still see blatant examples of Black people still not being able to celebrate or like wear their features proudly in the corporate space in America today. So that's weird. That's the nuance that I want to add to the conversation. Like, we can't just compare it. Like,
so the reason why I think we're having two different conversations. You want to talk about the average Joe. I'm talking about women that don't have to do that, who are not victims of white supremacy, who are choosing to capitalize off that same white supremacy that they claim exists. See, Beyonce did the Super Bowl and had the whole Black Panther costumes. They were costumes. She put her dancers in black afros. Have you ever seen Beyonce in an afro? Hell be damned. She pull up in a black afro, unless she was playing, Sweet Sugar Brown in a movie, right? Which is a caricature of Black women, by the way. That's the only time we've seen Beyonce in an afro, and the afro was blonde too. Okay, I'm sure ordered by her. I'll wear the afro.
It's always gonna be blonde. It's always
so here's the thing.
For Beyonce,
well, she's always been light skinned. She's never looked like a Caucasian. The picture I posted was okayed by her. She looks Caucasian in that picture to the point where people did not recognize her. She knew that image was going out. So she is
right.
Here's the thing. She is capitalizing off what Black women are really suffering from, the Crown Act and corporate, what Black women are really suffering from. She's actually capitalizing off of that. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's nuanced, but we're talking about the people I'm talking about, not the people you're talking about. And that's why I don't think it's nuanced when we're talking about celebrities. When we're talking about celebrities, I don't think it's nuanced at all. Beyonce doesn't have to act white. She's worth $1 billion. Little Kim got money. Nene Leakes got money. You know what I mean? These women have money. So they're not the average woman that are suffering in corporate America. That is my point. They're not the average Black woman who is like, I better assimilate or I'm not going to make money.
But like, I get what you're saying 100%, right?
So it's not nuanced when I'm talking about these women. I'm talking about these women.
It still is, because white supremacy seeps into all sectors of society.
But again, listen to what I'm saying. It's seeped into Hollywood, and these Black women are capitalizing off of it. They're not the victims of it. They're actually the villains. They are helping white supremacy. They are helping it voluntarily. Why? Because of this. And this is why I say it's the same. You say blackfishing.
They're both. I would say they're victims and robbery.
Let me land the plane here and I'll pass the mic. You're saying that they're not comparable. I'm saying they're exactly the same. White women capitalizing off of looking Black and Black women capitalizing off of looking white. They are exactly the same.
Right. And in this industry, the goal is to get to a place where you can do what the fuck you want to do. Right. And that's where a lot of these girls are at when they decide to do certain things, like chopping off their nose and bleaching their skin. Like, they don't do it in the beginning. Like I said, they do it in the beginning of their career, And they said, look, motherfucker, I got to do this shit because they ain't going to, with this big old nose and this nappy head, they ain't going to let me through. I got to do what I got to do. I was like, look, sis, I get it, right? But when they play in our face, that's when I'm like, girl, you don't even got to do it.
I
You ain't even got to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I'm not gonna lie and say that like Beyonce definitely knew how she looked in that picture and like was still fine with it being out. Like, so I'm not gonna lie, and I already said that Beyonce has been guilty of capitalizing off of the black struggle. So I wasn't surprised seeing that image pop out into on the internet. A lot of people weren't so surprised, but people are always gonna complain. So like there's always going to be people saying stuff. Oh, she's bleaching. She's doing this. She's doing that. I don't think she's bleaching. I don't think she's bleaching.
I don't think she's bleaching either. I think she knew the picture was doctored, and she wanted it to go out that way. That's what I thought. But I don't think she's bleaching. Speaking of bleaching, we got a lot of people new in the room. Please hit that like for me if you can. It is currency. Speaking of bleaching, I want to revisit really quickly before we get out of here. What exactly I was talking about. Black women are capitalizing off of being lighter skinned, whether you want to blame white supremacy or whatever. These women are now like, fuck that. I'm going to go get my money. So where does that leave Black Girl Magic? These are the pictures I posted before. This was Corinne Stevens, aka Superhead, aka her new name, Elizabeth Ovenson. That was how we remember her. A lot of people remember her. That was her before. This is her now in 2023. That is her now in 2023. Remember this hip hop model, video vixen. Okay, Angel Lola Love. That is how we remember her. Okay, this is how we remember her. This is her today in 2023.
That's Drea. I'm not taking.
She looks completely different. She doesn't even look like the same person.
Yeah, she looks like Drea. She looks just like Drea.
I'm convinced that's a different person, or she had like a lot of like facial surgery. That does not look like the same person at all. Like, it's crazy.
And then I'm surprised you left Delicious out because Delicious look like a whole nother person.
I was already running late, Lily.
Delicious.
You remember Delicious, right?
Yeah,
she look like a whole nother person.
Yeah, I deleted her picture from here. Damn. Yeah. Oh, no. I have her. Here we go. There goes Delicious.
Oh my
God. Wait, that's not an Asian woman?
That is not an Asian woman. However, you guys remember going back to what Carl said. Beyonce for many, many years has been capitalizing off of being the lightest girl in the room. Okay.
You want to know who does that too? Doja Cat. Doja Cat does the same thing.
Yeah,
Chloe does it sometimes too.
Yeah, you see, so Beyonce has always been framed by darker skinned women. Here's a reggaetonero. I think he's from Colombia. He's doing it too, right? He's walking the darker skinned Dominican girls. And they passed it down to Blue Ivy. They made sure they put Blue Ivy in the middle of two darker skinned girls. Rihanna's done it. She got black people, dark skinned black people framing her. So my point is that there are some people that are capitalizing off of being light skinned amongst their own people. That's what it was. I'm not talking about the average woman who is suffering in corporate America. She wants to wear her afro and, Boss John doesn't like the afro. That's a whole different subject. I'm just saying these people, they switch up when they want, just the same way they say white people switch up when they want. Okay, they say, oh, you black conveniently, right? Oh, well, you're white conveniently as well, ma'am, sir, ma'am.
And the girl in corporate America is not going to go as far as to chop off her nose and bleach her skin and do all the other stuff that comes with it. She just, unfortunately, she's got to do something, different with her hair, other than the way it grows out of her head. But she's not going to take it this far as well,
Thank you for the stupid chat, Adam Hearn. Adam Hearn says, shout out to my Caucasian brother, Sir Sam Sosa. He's another one. Now that's self-hate because he didn't need to do that. He already had tons of money. He didn't,
and
he's
right. That was blatant self-hate. Yep.
He's not a pop star. He didn't need to run around looking beige and alabaster.
He's Dominican, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was super self-hate because you know what happens in the Dominican Republic. So
yeah,
We
Yeah.
we already know about that.
Yeah.
He looked like he had alopecia, though. I mean,
I had a
What?
girlfriend.
I mean, not alopecia. Vitiligo. What is that?
Vitiligo.
Yeah,
Oh,
vitiligo.
yeah.
Because when they
I had a-
bleach color is weird.
It's never a real undertone.
It's like an ashy tone. They look dead. Like
Yeah.
they straight up look dead. Like it's scary.
It gives you anemia of realness.
They look like vampires, like a vampire skin tone. Like
Yeah,
in
weird.
fiction, that's what they look like.
Marquise says, what about Latinas? They want to be white. There's brown Latinas with blonde hair. White Latina gets a pass for that. I spoke about the Latinas earlier. Y'all be late as fuck, starting trouble. I spoke about the Latina. Shakira is not, her hair is not blonde. Jennifer Lopez is not a blonde. I spoke about Latinas do it too. In pop culture, blondes make more money. That is why they do it. Okay. All the pop stars go fucking pink, all of them. Even the white girls go more blonde. Blondes make more money.
Even white people aren't blind. Yeah, most white people aren't blind.
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them go blonde. All right, guys. So that was our show. Carl, thank you so much for coming up. Okay.
You're welcome.
This is a tough crowd. I'd love to see you again. Thank you for your opinions. Even if we didn't agree all the way, I appreciate you coming up and, you know what I mean, standing 10 toes down on what you said. It is a nuanced conversation, but I just wanted to concentrate on these motherfuckers that ain't got a little white and they doing it anyway. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Support the show. Cash App on the Block with Jen. Thank you so much for being here. Hit that like for mama. We will see you tomorrow. Don't forget Sisterhood Sips has a new show coming this Sunday. And also don't forget, I interviewed Big Daddy Kane. We got a nice one-on-one coming right around the time of the Grammys Hip Hop 50th Anniversary show that airs December 10th. So I'll be dropping our interview around that time. Okay. Love you all. Good night.
Good
I
night.
like the way Carl talks too. Good night.
Okay. All right, guys, I'm out. Thank you so much, chat. Y'all held us down to the chat was popping. I love it. I love it when y'all popping in the chat. All right, guys. Good night.